financial statement analysis for decision making about
Hello.
any I think I'll give you a chance after I complete this topic. Financial statement analysis for decision making about any business. So as valuation professional, irrespective of the asset or the type of the asset or the type of the liability that we are talking about, more often than not, whenever we are working on any valuation assignment, we need to come to a very good understanding about the business of the client. And the question is how to arrive at a very confident level of information about the status of the business of the client. Now, for that purpose, friends, there are 8 things that we need to look at. So, whenever I'm working or all of us are working on any assignment, what are the 8 things that we need to look at of any business so as to come to the conclusion whether this business is doing well or this business is not doing well? And this understanding has to be wholesome. This understanding has to be comprehensive. So, in my understanding, friends, there are 8 things that we need to analyze and look at of any business so as to be able to come to a confident conclusion about that company or that business. So, number one is what we need to look at is the profitability. How is the profitability of that business? Number two, we need to look at the liquidity. How is the liquidity of that business? Whether the business is liquid or is not liquid. Number three, we also need to look at the solvency. So whether the business is solvent or it is not solvent. We also need to look at the fourth thing, and that is efficiency in utilization of fixed assets. Is the business making good use of the assets which it has, fixed asset that it has? Please remember, ultimately, the performance of a business will depend how efficiently this business is using the assets. So, with the fourth thing that we need to look at is what is the efficiency with which the business is using or utilizing the fixed asset that it has. Number five, what need to look at is the efficiency and effectiveness in working capital management. Remember, friends, we as the valuation professionals always need to carry and keep this in mind as to world over the research shows whenever a company closes down, the research shows in 90% of the times it is the bad working capital management which has been the prime cause for the closure of that business. And therefore, obviously, as the valuation professional or as the finance professional, we always need to look at as to how is the working capital management of that business in terms of efficiency and in terms of effectiveness. The sixth thing that we need to look at is the financial leverage. And what is the meaning of financial leverage? It simply means whether the company has borrowed or not borrowed. If the company is not borrowed, the company has not taken any borrowing, it means the business is not leveraging. And if the company has taken debt but it is low, that means the business is not very highly leveraged. But if the company has got huge borrowings, and that means that business is highly leveraged. And I'm sure the implication is lower the leverage, lesser is the financial risk. Higher the leverage, higher is the financial risk. The seventh thing that we need to look at is valuation ratios, the valuation. So there are many valuation ratios, and I will discuss some of them with you. So we also need to look at certain valuation ratios as to how those valuation ratios are working for that business. And the eighth thing that we need to look at of any business for arriving at a confident conclusion about that business is how is the EVA of that company. And remember, friends, EVA is the most important key performance indicator used anywhere in the world. And what EVA is? Economic value added. So look at the economic value added. So when you look at all these 8 points that I have just discussed with you, that will give you an idea as to how good or bad that business is doing. So I could see few hands going up, and I can take those questions and then I will move to the next topic.